Well, good evening, everyone. It's Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this January 24th, 2026. I'm hoping everybody had a great Saturday out there so far, but it's a great Saturday evening. Hope everybody can stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather. Got the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be taking a look at the storm system here, which is producing a major winter storm from Texas to the Carolinas all the way up into Maine. It also will extend to New Brunswick, Maine, eastern Canada, all the way over towards St. John's and Newfoundland regions, as well as we continue to roll forward through the next several days to come. Alright, you can see we got a storm system here located over Texas. You can see got plenty of moisture moving across Mexico to Texas to New Mexico, over to Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, all the way over toward Louisiana, over toward Mississippi and Alabama. This is bringing some severe weather to this region here, coming up on Sunday over here from the Panhandle through portions of Alabama and Georgia. There's even a little bit of severe weather today across portions of Louisiana as well, and also portions of southern Mississippi. Alright, now this activity will continue to pivot on off to the north and east. That low pressure system rise up the Appalachian Mountains. Still expect some wintry precipitation across the Carolinas, Georgia, and then northbound. Freezing rain total still looks like maybe the highest across the upstate of South Carolina. We'll show you that in the map at the end of the video. We'll talk about that ice totals at the end. But anyway, there's possibility of a major ice storm could be across northern Georgia, upstate South Carolina, and southwestern North Carolina, and then on into central North Carolina over toward the Raleigh-Durham area. But like I say, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Alright, you can see the cold air across South Canada producing some snow showers in that area. Even got another storm system here moving into the western U.S. that could bring another round of wintry precipitation next weekend for the south and southeastern U.S. Long way away yet, but first we got to get through this one before we focus on the next one. But there's a lot of cold air will continue to plummet down behind this system as it lifts across the mid-Atlantic and out to sea, and a cold front drags across the area. Also, we might be looking at some thunderstorms across Georgia, South Carolina. Could be producing some thunder sleet, maybe some thunder freezing rain. That could dump a lot of accumulation of ice over a certain area, so that could accumulate real fast. It couldn't have a lot of power outages. I do expect some power outages across the Carolinas and Georgia. We do have power outages also in New Mexico to Texas, over toward Louisiana, some in Arkansas and also Oklahoma, and that will continue to push on east as we get into your Sunday. Alrighty, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's continue to get the show on the road there, folks. And if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you can keep up to date with my local forecast, because I do these local forecasts daily on a routine basis. Alright, as you can see, we got that freezing rain from eastern Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi to Georgia to Carolinas, all the way up toward Maryland, New Jersey, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, you're included. You can see mixed precipitation in Alabama, Mississippi to also Texas, also of course southern New Mexico, southeast Arizona, northern Mexico, and also western Texas, and then more mixed precipitation from Oklahoma to Arkansas to Pennsylvania toward southern Pennsylvania, that is, and Rhode Island areas as well, and also Delaware and New Jersey. You can see that severe weather down there across Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, southwestern Georgia, thunderstorms and showers for southeast Louisiana, northern central Gulf through across Florida, southern Georgia. There's probably some thunderstorms on South Carolina as well, and then up the Atlantic coastal waters also. And there might be some thunderstorms also in North Carolina as well as that system here. You see that low pressure system here rides up the mountains and then out into the mid-Atlantic, dragging a cold front. That's what's going to bring the storms to the Carolinas as that cold front sweeps through the area. Heavy snow from a portion of Maine to Connecticut to Massachusetts, also Pennsylvania, Ohio to Missouri, portion of our northern Arkansas. More snow flying from New Mexico to northern Texas, Oklahoma to Missouri to Illinois, Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Superior, also over northern Maine and portion of New Brunswick. Some snow flying in South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Kansas, and also northern New Mexico areas as well. Alrighty, I think we got everything covered on the map. So otherwise, they draw high pressure to remain in charge of the western and northern U.S., but the central and eastern U.S. not so Not no fair weather expected. Very nasty weather expected for you guys across this area, which is no fun in the ice. Alright, we're going to roll on to your Monday forecast and take a look at it. It should start, this weather map should be changing here, and the nasty weather should be out of the way. Okay, we're rolling into Monday, and a lot better weather map showing up here. Just a little bit of mixed precipitation, Washington State, Outer Banks of North Carolina, shower activity across Florida. I don't know what happened. It took it out there, but just gotta wait. Yeah, there's that shower activity across South Central Florida. There's the Outer Banks of North Carolina, mixed precipitation, Connecticut, Rhode Island. And then there's that snow flying up here from Wisconsin and to Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Michigan, over toward Ottawa and Toronto, Canada, portion of Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York State, and Maine. There's some heavy snow over New York State and Maine, as well in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Vermont. You're included in that as well. Otherwise, big dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Monday across the remainder of the lower 48. Alright, let's move on to the current watches warning advisory map for you located across the nation. And here's that colorful map here. We got winter storm warning, winter weather advisory, the ice storm warning stretching from areas of Colorado to eastern Arizona, New Mexico to Texas to Oklahoma to Kansas, over here to Missouri to Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, all the way up to Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, Virginia, up toward Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Delaware, D.C., to New York State, to Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. You're included in that as well, just from winter weather advisory, winter storm warnings, and ice storm warning, like I said, across the Carolinas, Georgia, portion of Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Then we got extreme cold weather warning across areas of Texas, Louisiana, and also into portions of Mississippi. Then up here across Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, and also we have some cold weather advisories also in effect for portions of Georgia, Alabama, Colorado, also in the portion of Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, and also portions of Wisconsin. Also we have some hydro issues up here in portions of Michigan as well. Dense fog advisories over here in portions of Central California. Wind advisory for southern areas of California. We've got some cold weather advisory in Washington, Oregon State, and also some air quality alerts in Oregon State. Alright, we got some extreme cold weather watches across southern Alabama, Panhandle, Florida. We got wind advisory for southwestern Georgia, Panhandle, and southeastern portions of Alabama. Smoke rat advisory, gale warning from the east coast of Mexico, southeast Texas, over toward the Big Bend area of Florida, east coast of Florida, all the way up to Maine, with some storm warnings off the coastal areas, about 250 nautical mile offshore, and then a little bit across the Oregon coast as well. Hawaiian Chain Island looks good. Let me see what we got here. Dense fog advisory, and then some winter weather advisory for the southern island. Smoke rat advisory, gale warning around the Alaska region. Got some high wind watches along the coastal areas, and some cold weather advisories inland, and a little stream northern portion of Alaska with some winter weather advisories. Alright, Storm Prediction Center outlook. This is for your Sunday. Here is that severe weather. Marginal risk from New Orleans to Jackson to Birmingham to Columbus, just south of Atlanta. There's that slight risk from Mobile to Dalton to Columbus to Tallahassee. Let's take a look at the tornado probability. It should roll out like this. We have 5% around the Panhandle, Mobile, over toward Dalton, Alabama, and also over toward Columbus, Georgia. We're on that 2% risk. Tallahassee to New Orleans, 2% risk for a tornado. Alright, damage and winds, 5 and 15% in across Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and portion of Mississippi and southeast Louisiana. Large hail should be less than 5%. Okay, now people in South Carolina, Georgia, portion of eastern Alabama, southern North Carolina, this is your ice total for you guys here. You can see across much of Alabama, not too much except in northwestern Alabama, around Florence, Alabama. We have about 0.5 0.06 to 0.38, so that'd be a little bit over almost 4/10 of an inch of ice. Gadsden is around Alabama, a little bit of activity there. Here's the big totals here coming in right in the purple here. This will be from 3/4 to 1 inch of ice in those counties. Atlanta metro area, you're looking at about 4/10 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, or a little bit over 1/4 of an inch, about 0.34. Columbia, South Carolina, you're looking at about 1/4 of an inch for the highest amount. Lowest amount would be 0.07. Florence, South Carolina, about 0.04 to almost 2/10 of an inch. And then anywhere in the red, you're about 1/4 of an inch in that area. And then you can see up toward the upstate around Greenville, Spartanburg, looking at about 0.32 to 0.64 inches in ice totals. All of this here will accumulate on power lines. Do expect a lot of power outages across this red area of the map here. Some will be spread, kind of periodic, sporadic power outages. A lot of them will be widespread, mainly in the upstate of South Carolina, also around the Atlanta metro area to the north and east, also southwestern portions of North Carolina. Well, I might as well say much of North Carolina probably will be out of power during this event. If you're south of I-20, you're going to have just a few little power outages here and there. But if you're north of I-20, probably a little more numerous power outages are expected. So would not be surprised to see some areas may be out of power for several days. Some may be just a few hours and come right back home. So, and self-release, hopefully most of it will have power as the event rolls through and the snow and the ice totals come down a little more. Hopefully they'll keep coming down just a little bit more. If it comes down below 1/4 of an inch, maybe 2/10 of an inch, it won't be too bad in many areas. But alrighty, well, just hunker down, folks. Get ready for the ice storm, and hopefully, if I have power tomorrow, make sure I'll be back with another update. If not, I won't not be back until whenever the power comes back on. But hopefully, I will be here tomorrow evening to give you an update on the local forecast. Alright, hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. Like the video, share the videos, and we'll catch you back in the next ones. Have a wonderful Saturday evening, folks. Take care and also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got.